Alright, boys. I'm just gonna get straight into the video. So I am a self-proclaimed Destiny fan. I've been a fan for a long time. If you can't tell, here's my playtime hours on my account. Ignore this name, change the name, doesn't matter. But anyways, yeah, this is my playtime hours in the game on PC. I believe I had more hours on Xbox. When I played on Xbox for the first 2 years. I played every single year consistently. Yeah, there has been one or two times where I've taken a 6 month break. Um, here's my raid hours. I think those are activities of like how many raids I've attempted, which, obviously most of those are going to be completions. Um, or at least some of those are completions I don't actually know. But yeah, I've been a long, long, long Destiny fan. I played since week one or like month one of Destiny 1 when I was a young wee lad back when I was fucking like 11 or 12. I don't even remember. It was that long ago. I was young as shit when I first started playing this game. Had to quit because my internet was so bad. Got better internet around House of Wolves, so I skipped Dark Below. Anyways, I have been through the highs and lows of Destiny, as most Destiny fans have been. There's been times where there's nothing to do, you think the game's going nowhere, and you dip out for a bit, and then Destiny seems to always throw out that hook and pull your ass back in. But this time, they sink their claws in, and you know what? They got me again. So, I'm gonna get into basically the update, because if you haven't heard, Destiny just basically whipped out their dick and threw it on the table. And I have nothing but respect for the company. I can't believe they hid this so well for so long. Something needs to be mentioned of them. Obviously, I'm aware of the controversy. They cut a shit ton of staff, they let off people that were working there for decades. They're planning on working on different games, so now it's like, who the fuck's working on Destiny 2? Um, they blew my expectations out of the water. I'll be honest. I was expecting, as I assume most people were expecting this Lightfall or what is it called? Final Shape update to be pretty lackluster. They were expecting a good story, a super edition, and like that's pretty much it. Like gameplay tweaks, but we ended up getting a whole new faction, which is major. I really hope they update the Tormentors. Let's see, yeah. I really hope they update the Tormentors. I think the Tormentors are very, very weak. I want them to be like an actual terrifying presence. Maybe when you're weak, it'll show up out of nowhere, and like grab you and then throw you to the side, let you run away while it recoups, and then the fight begins with a Tormentor. That'd be sick. Um, but yeah, if you're new to Destiny, basically all has Destiny been is reskin of enemies. If you want to try to defend Destiny by saying, well, Taken are a different faction, no, they're the same faction. They just do different things. Just because you're a Scion that duplicates doesn't make you a brand new faction. Just because you're a Phalanx that holds a shield up, oh, but this one shoots a blast, you're not a new faction. You're the same faction. You just have more things. It'd be like doing a higher difficulty version of an activity with that faction. Um, and then you could also make an argument for Scorn. Scorn aren't new. They're the same thing. Oh, it's a sniper vandal, but this one goes invisible. It's a fucking captain, but this one shoots a totem. Like it's the same shit. We know this. Screeds were like probably the most unique thing, but that just fills the role of a suicider. Whatever. But this is a brand new faction. Yeah, we've already fought the Tormentors, but they are a new enemy, and they just need to expand on them, and they'll be fine. They don't need to uh make them a scripted fight like in the Lightfall story. Shit story, by the way. I'll get into that. Anyways, um, this is basically a Scion, but it's gonna have more things to do. So I know that's like, oh, it's a reskin, kind of, but this is going to be a completely different mechanic wise, and that's the closest thing. Everything else here is different. You have a flying bat, which is the only flying enemy, unless you count a harpy, in the game. And then you have, I don't even remember what they're called, but they're melee enemies that if you kill, they'll spawn basically an axiom dart. Pretty cool, theme wise. idea-wise, so that'll be interesting. And then you have two Rulk wannabes in the background. Those two are going to be really sick to play around with and fight. So I'm really, really excited for this new faction just in general, liven up the game. But on top of that, they decided to fucking really lay down their dick and testicles with this one. They added a light and dark fusion, basically. I think it's called prismatic. I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah, prismatic. But essentially, prismatic is you can basically just use light and dark synonymously, and I believe you can also like I think you can use like a solar melee. Yeah, so it'd be like a solar melee, void grenade, and like a stasis ability or whatever. I think you can do that. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. I really, really like that. I don't think anyone was expecting them to go that far. And then on top of it, there's going to be an exotic class item that's going to allow you to use two exotic perks from other classes, I believe. So, maybe you're a Titan and you feel like your barricade sucks ass. I think you'll be able to get like a Dust Crown where you're gonna trigger health regen after using your class ability, and then maybe you also get like I don't know, what's something? Maybe you also get like Arc Soul or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least. And then on top of all these super editions and the enemy editions, the story also is gonna be fantastic. I know. Listen, listen. I know. I know. Destiny has been going through the ringer when it comes to Lightfall's story. But A, if you forget the fact that once every 4 years we get a shit storyline, we had Shadowkeep. Let's be honest, that was shit. Um, but other than like Shadowkeep, there's not really like Beyond Light was cool. It wasn't like my favorite, but it was pretty cool with the stasis. Witch Queen was sick. And then yeah, of course we get like Lightfall being garbage. I mean, I thought going into Lightfall it was gonna be like a 6 out of 10. This wasn't gonna be great, but apparently everyone wanted it to be perfect. I still think it was way worse than a 6. I think it was genuinely like a 2 out of 10. That story was fucking terrible. Um, but yeah, it was filler story. This is like conclusion story. This is what they've been cooking for like 6 years. You know, and with the gameplay, they've really cooked. And really, the only way you could defend Bungie with the future of Destiny would be, oh, after they're finished with doing the storyline and scripted shit, that's when the gameplay is going to get fun, not as restricting as it currently is. And that's when, like, in-depth character building is going to come because they don't have to worry about balancing the game around, like, lore accurate shit and all this other stuff. They can just focus on having fun gameplay. Um, you could have only made that argument before this video was announced, and that was like if you're a really big Destiny, Destiny dick sucker, basically. But yeah, that's basically where you would have stood. You would have been like, yeah, well, gameplay's not great right now because of storyline. Now that the story's over, it's clear they do really want to focus on gameplay, which I'm happy with. I hope everyone's happy with. I do feel like Destiny actually does have the best feeling FPS shooter or looter shooter. I should preface. In the any franchise right now, there's not a single one that holds a candle to it. I think, just the way the guns feel and everything like that. So, big respect to Destiny there. Um, the other thing I really wanted to talk about is the Lightfall expansion. Yes, it was shit. 5 out of oof, that's rough. Yeah, it was shit. Um, but let's not forget Destiny on launch for these DLCs typically have some sort of caveat. So, yes, new faction, great. New supers, great. New fucking prismatic, whatever, great. New weapons, fantastic. Fucking new destination, congrats. New fucking um I guess like theme and the conclusion of the story. All of these sound great. But guys, let's not forget who we're dealing with here. All right, we're dealing with Bungie, and on every single DLC launch, something is broken. Whether that's actually playing the activity, whether that's the story just not like the game itself is just not working, whether Telesto's broken and obliterates everything, whether there's 15 exotics that get disabled on day one. Outside of all that, let's not forget the balancing problem this game has. Now, if you weren't around, I want to say it was like 7, 8 months ago. I don't remember. It was during like Crota's End when it released again. If you weren't around for that, basically weapon crafting got extremely busted, and you were able to just like fucking make Jesus in a weapon itself and fuse weapons together. It was crazy. It was a bug 100%, and they fixed it. Um, let's not forget that that happens. You know what I mean? So this expansion launching with these abilities and everything, let's hold on now. You know, every expansion I think so far since they introduced fragments, there's been 2 of them or 3 of them disabled. I think there's been supers disabled in the past. Let's not forget this, guys. Okay, so when launch day comes and we're like, I can't wait to use all these builds and I can't wait to use this, that, and the other. Let's not expect it to be perfect here. You know, fragments are probably going to be disabled. There's probably going to be like 1 or 2 abilities on certain classes disabled. You know, let's say Duskfield Grenade ends up obliterating bosses in 2.3 seconds because of a shatter fragment. You know, maybe they disable both. Okay, let's let's hold our horses here now. Okay, um, and then you know, oh, I'm really excited for this new faction. Da 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 da. For whatever reason, some of the faction enemies just one-shot you because of hitbox issues. You know, let's not forget what Destiny is. Destiny has problems, okay, and they always have problems on launch. All right, and I'm not sitting here telling you don't buy the game. You know, don't spend your money on the on a pre-order or whatever. But just keep in mind what game you're spending money on, okay? This game is going to be a buggy mess on launch. 100 guaranteed. That's not even a like, well, this time they're going all out, so they have to be perfect. No. That's not, we know this. Come on. Reality, guys. Reality. Um so it's going to be a buggy mess. There's going to be problems with the game. But, you know, this trailer I'm going to play in the background real quick just while I talk and go over some things. But yeah, guys, you know, this is huge. If you're a Destiny fan, now is this time to come back for sure, 100%, not even a question. If you don't have the money, it is like it's $100, $120 if you want the season pass and the expansions, or the expansion, I should say. You're better off maybe waiting for a deal, maybe watching someone else play. It's not a big deal if you miss out on this DLC if you've already dropped Destiny, you know. No one blames you because this game is as inconsistent as it can be, but this is where everything turns up. Also, I just want to preface to go on another thing. We've been promised prismatic, we've been promised new guns, we've been promised fucking um new faction, everything. Let's not forget, every single year they have this long ass roadmap, and every single year we're like, I can't wait for all of this to happen. Ooh, Fireteam Finder. Ooh, you know, we're finally getting all this in-game shit. Wait a minute, it's delayed till next year? You know, like, let's not forget, like, they do shit like this all the time, you know? So we definitely gotta hold our horses when it comes to this game. But I will say this game is nothing but shaping up to be the best expansion so far. They are actually going all out for this. I think this is genuinely better. Prismatic is genuinely better than if they announced, hey, we're having a new elements in the game, because the new elements in the game always breaks the game or makes it unfun in some ways. But yeah, this is gonna be a 6 storyline. Obviously, like, the Cade 6 is coming back, whatever. The way they did the trailers also fantastic. I can't think of a better way they could have done the trailers. They had to have Cade 6 in it. I'm not a big fan of Cade 6 coming back, you know. I'm assuming most people are. I just think it's a cop out. I don't like cop outs personally. Um, Sick trailer, excited. Armor looks cool. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you're a Destiny fan, like this is the time, you know? This is our time. They also sneakily said the franchise isn't over. And typically, whenever a developer says franchise isn't over, they mean another game's coming out. There's a rumor, I think, circulating on Twitter that Destiny 3 is in the works. This is the same guy who leaked Prismatic, I believe. So, pretty trustworthy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on Destiny 3. If you watch this video to the end, I don't blame you. I am a nobody on the internet right now, but don't worry. That'll change. You know, full-time YouTuber over here. Indeed, brother. But, yeah, I'm probably going to start streaming this game. I might as well. I'm getting back into the game. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on what you think of a Destiny 3. Now, me personally, I'm fine if they redo the game, but it has to be from the ground up. If we're still having physics problems, if we're still having shit like that, I just don't want to fucking play it. I'll be honest. I'll just stick with Destiny 2 as long as the servers are live. But they need to make sure everything's in the game and they don't do cop-outs like they did with Destiny. Destiny 2 has had one of the worst life cycles of any single fucking game. Destiny in general has had one of the rockiest life cycles of any game franchise I've ever seen. We went all the way from having like perfect 10 out of 10 with Destiny 1, just the engine was suffering. Then to going on to Destiny 2, we thought were improvements, and they removed a shit ton of things that were great, and then, you know, we had bad storylines, we had expensive DLC, then the game went free to play, so now everyone who spent hundreds of dollars on the game was just fucking wasted. Ooh, it's been a rough time being a Destiny fan, but am I glad I spent 10 years playing this franchise, you know, and I can only hope it gets better. Um, I know after Final Shape we're getting, or yeah, Final Shape, I don't want to get that wrong. But after Final Shape we're getting, what's it called? What's the name? Echoes. We're getting Echoes. So that'll be cool. Um, I have faith that the game will at least be fun to play. You know, Destiny's also becoming a thing where you don't need to do everything. You're not expected to do everything. I know some gamers want to do everything. That's just not how Destiny is. You know, we can just be honest. There are some things you'll just never do. Like chances are, if you're a heavy raider, and not playing this game full time, you'll probably just do raids and some PvE activities. If you're heavy on PvP, then you're probably not even doing raids, you know? Again, unless you're like a full-time streamer or whatever. So, yeah, really excited. Happy about everything Destiny did. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, if you liked the video, and if you stuck around to the end, I appreciate you.